Hello, Dune Awakening community. Welcome on our anniversary live stream for the game. It's the first one, first of many. I'm Camille, I'm the senior lead community dev, and it's my pleasure to also welcome some of the returning faces on our show today. Joel, our chief creative officer, and Ula Andreas, the production director. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Obviously, today is a party here at Funcom.
I can see that.
Pretty
And
good.
I'm well dressed for it. I've been well prepared for the party. No.
We've been
So-
celebrating all day.
We've been celebrating all day. There was cake earlier. My blood sugar spiked. I had to have a sleep afterwards. I might have to go see a doctor about my type 2 diabetes soon. But no, doing well so far. Have enough energy to get through a live stream. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And now it's out, so we're going to
Nice.
dive into some cool
Oh, and
things.
I'm so excited because today we can talk about stuff, actually.
Yeah, it's been quite tricky last time we've been here, or you were here with Tasha, since we had to be quite tight-lipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
It was like last live stream we did, we were like, hey, can we talk about any future stuff? Well, you can't mention the console stuff. And you can't mention like the polar caps.
Yeah.
And you can't talk about like single player stuff. It's
Yep.
like, oh, okay. What's this live stream going to be about? We'll find out. We'll go. So this one's going to be, we can actually talk about stuff.
Absolutely,
Nice.
and this one's gonna be more laid back. It's more chill since I'm here as well. And yeah, before we're gonna dive into all of the anniversary that is happening right now, talk more about the console release, the single player mode, and some of the upcoming updates. There is something else we wanna start with, because coming into this live stream, we knew we wanted to also spice things up, do something else. And we thought that, hey, maybe it would be cool if all of us together would design a tattoo that will be then added into the game to celebrate the first Dune Awakening anniversary. So to make this happen, we also have another colleague that is joining us during today's live stream, Caroline, our character concept artist. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good, thank you.
That's awesome. Well, first of all, thanks for agreeing to even do this live on air. I cannot imagine how stressful it might be. But yeah, if you could maybe introduce yourself, tell everyone a little bit more. What do you do at Funcom? How long you've been with us? I'm sure everyone would appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm a character concept artist here at Funcom. I've been here for 3 years working on Dune now, and I do mainly characters and costume, but I've also designed most of our in-game tattoos, which is what I'll be doing today.
Well, perfect person to have to do the job that is needed. But can you maybe tell everyone how they will be able to participate, what they will be voting for?
Yeah, so we've picked out 4 themes for you guys to choose from. The first one is Shai Hulud. Then we have Muad'Dib. The third one is Trials of Akul. And then we also have Spy Stream. So we'll set up a poll for you, and then you'll pick one of these. And then I'll be designing a tattoo based on that. And then by the end of the stream, you guys will be able to see my sketches for the theme you picked. And we'll be choosing one that I'll be developing further. That will end up in game.
Yeah, so the polls should be going live momentarily if they're not already there on Twitch and YouTube. So go ahead, cast your vote. We're gonna have them open for a couple of minutes. And after that, Caroline will start designing this. So can you maybe show us a little bit more how that process will actually look like?
Yeah, sure. So I can just show you my screen here. As you may be able to see, I'm going to be painting directly on our 3D model. I can show you an example of something I've done before. So this is a sleeve and a neck tattoo that I did previously. Well, this is a final design. We'll not be doing a final design today, but we'll be doing a loose sketch in black and white. Yeah, so this is my typical workflow. I'll basically just be doing a neck or face tattoo, maybe both, we'll see. I'll probably try a few different things, and I'll just be painting directly onto the model like this. I already have a huge mood board ready, so I'm ready to start sketching.
Okay, so in a process like this where you will basically have a singular prompt on the tattoo, how are you gonna go about, starting from the blank state?
Yeah, so the first step is always doing research, which I've already done. Gather references and images of inspiration, and then I usually start ideating. So my first sketches typically are pretty good. It's just about getting ideas out of my head, and then as I get into a flow, my ideas develop into something more concrete, and then I end up with something that's tangible, and then we can go from.
Okay, awesome. I'm getting a word from our production, aka Ignacy, that the results from the poll are in. Let me just get that information through shouting, yeah.
Shai Hulud by a long shot.
Shai Hulud by a long shot. Well, there we go. You guys clearly know what you want.
58 and 47%.
58, 47% respectively on Twitch and YouTube. Okay, there is no questions there. So Caroline will basically take that in and start drafting, sketching, doodling a few options for us. Once again, it's not gonna be close to a final product. What we wanna get at the end of the show, it's something that you guys will able to vote on again, that we will flesh out further, and at a later stage, we'll show you the two final options again and let broader community as well vote on which one of those will be added into the game at the earliest opportunity after production will allow us to do this. So without...
Looking at you.
Yeah, I'm looking directly at Ule Andreas
I
here.
was personally hoping Spystream would win because that's all fucked up, and we could
Yeah.
take some we could take some LSD and figure that one out. But no, not
That
this
would be
time.
very interesting how...
Sounds like a
how we
different
can
live
depict
stream.
it. Yeah.
Very different live stream. Yeah.
That's for our subscribers later, on our Patreon.
Moving to you now.
Yeah, you can definitely move to me. So Caroline, thanks very much. You can start your work. We will look and check in on your progress periodically throughout the show.
Gavin will be in later to art direct, and it'll be good.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get on with the live stream. Anniversary has started today. It's June 10th, not counting the head start that lets some players play 5 days in advance. And we have some in-game celebration happening right now. So for anyone logging in between now and July 10th, we will be giving out some in-game cosmetic items for free. Ignacy, you can maybe start showing what we're having for the people. Obviously, one of them is this Contemplation Tea House set that consists of the counters, sofa, stool, tea service with a table, body set, and wall relief. So basically everything that you can see on the screen.
Show them what they've won. So, well, it's a luxurious holiday to Arrakis, staying in the finest apartment with the coffee and tea set.
Oh, some spiced tea there.
Some spiced tea, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice,
it
sorry.
definitely
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Just reminds me of like the old game shows where they were like, show them what they've won. Well, this couple will be going on an exciting tour. No, this is great. This is cool stuff. Our art team knows what they're doing.
Really nice.
Is it the spit coffee set from the... Is this how we get our water on Arrakis? Is how we make
part
coffee?
of it, part of it for
yeah.
sure. But guys, I love it. There's no questions about that. But obviously, deep inside, I have a question. Will we ever get something with more Harkonnen aesthetics to it?
Yes.
At some point, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that would make the 5 Harkonnen players very, very happy, including myself. No, there's definitely more of us
Oh, come on.
out there.
Come on. I'm rolling with the Baron aesthetic in my life, so I feel like it's...
You're in,
I'm an Atreides, so I can't.
There's this weird progression on Dune that the more we do live streams, the fatter and bolder I'm going to get, and eventually I'm just going to be floating into the room for the start of the live streams.
I think at that
Because-
point we're gonna be able to
Exactly.
create some suspense for you, right?
Oh,
So
that's gonna
I'm
be
going
nice.
with the Baron.
You'll
But
come
yeah,
in.
there should be more Harkonnen stuff. We've talked about it quite a bit, that like a lot of the marketing stuff that we've been giving the marketing team to give out is like a tradies themed. And that's probably just because we made a lot of that early on, right? So we have, we'll get to the Harkonnen stuff.
Awesome.
Trust the man in the pointy hat.
That's it.
I
We'll
love
take
it.
all the information point blank. It's guaranteed. You can quote us on this. But besides the T-set, there's also the Master Operative of the Dunes. This is the light armor variant, which you can actually get today, right? The rest of the rewards will be given out on a weekly basis. So basically every week you will get additional pieces from the T-set added automatically to your collection. So you don't have to do anything, you just need to log in, play the game. They will automatically appear either in your customization menu or in your construction menu in the decoration section. So we basically have that, but on top of it, we also going to have a set of boost progression weekends for the next 4 weeks, each of them focusing on a different area. Everything will be doubled. So June 12, 15, we have the faction reputation, 19 to 22nd, house script rewards, 26, 29th, the specialization XP, and then July 3rd to 6th, we will double the Landstrat dungeon loot. For the first 3 weeks, you can also expect that we will top up everyone's mnemonic recollections to 35. So at the start of the progression weekend, regardless of how many charges you had, you will have the full 35 so that you can actually enjoy and get as much advantage from that boost as you possibly can.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically that's that. I know it's a special occasion. We've been doing some weekend boosts. We've been doing some community challenges. What do you guys think we can expect in the future? Is that something we're gonna be seeing regularly happening? Is there any particular cadence that you guys are thinking about doing?
Yeah, I think like our plan is to try and do. So there's like different types of events, right? We have these community events, we have these buff events or boost events as we're calling them, and then there's kind of themed content events, like something like the one we did with the Churm guns last year, right?
Okay, yeah.
For
So
chapter
like
2, I mean.
yeah, so which we did, for chapter 2. So the idea is to kind of have one of these events maybe every month, right? In the long term. Not right now because we're still very focused on getting the console and single player stuff done. But in the long term, moving towards more like that. And then how often we would have the unique content events will depend on how expensive they are to produce. But we have some ideas already. I'm already working on some pretty cool ideas for that, which I can't talk about yet, sadly, but going to be cool if we can get it done. And then and then we'll see. But like I think monthly roughly is where we'd be trying to have events.
Yeah, that's the aim.
Yep.
And obviously some of these, like there's different cadence to different events.
Yes.
So the boost events will be on a more regular basis, and then the community challenges, less regular, but still fairly regular. And then you'll have the more elaborate events that will be also on a regular basis cadence, but
Yes.
not every weekend or week. But
Right.
more
And
months.
at the same time, we've been also trying to work on making sure that the visibility on those events is
Yes.
better in game, right? For the last time, we had the notifications, which were kind of coming on screen every single time you zoom in between the maps. It's not supposed to be happening anymore, right? For the next one,
Should be fixed in the next one. Yeah.
should be fixed. Fingers crossed. So that's gonna be really cool. But there is a lot of plans of making sure that everyone is informed whenever something is happening, and that we can run different types of the boost weekends, focusing on different things, not only the same stuff over and over again, right?
And for the future beyond console launch, we'll keep evolving the events and how we notify people and the information people can gather in the game about the events. So.
Just keep the feedback coming so we can improve.
Precisely, that's your cue. Let us know what you would like. And just to make everything crystal clear, obviously all of the rewards are for all the players globally. So regardless where you play, official servers, private, self-hosted, you will be getting those rewards for yourself. And obviously the boosts, they do work on official servers and private servers. On self-hosted, I mean, you guys can control everything yourself. on that, so you are master of your own Arrakis. But it has been 1 year on the dot on Arrakis, and it's quite hard because it feels like not so long ago we've been sitting in a war room in the other kind of meeting room, glued to our dashboards, monitoring all of the chatter from the players, looking at all of the content being live streamed, created on YouTube, basically experiencing Dune Awakening through eyes of many, many people.
For the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah. I was kicked out though. I wasn't allowed to be in the.
Yeah,
They don't let the creative people in the war room because we can mess things up.
you've done your job.
Get the hell out.
Now production and live ops and live teams and CS needs to take over and make sure, and community, and make sure that the game runs well. Yeah, war room is a unique experience, I would say, pretty intense. It's what we call, it was basically we had a call going 24/7. There's always people there. People are on call, working on shifts, making sure that we have coverage, looking at the servers, what the performance is. Some of the Grafana dashboards, which is how we track things, were quite complicated and had a lot of data so that we could track performance on servers, player counts, and all of that stuff. It was a once in a lifetime experience, and it was a really cool bonding experience as well for the team, because you're working super closely and you're dealing with problems and fires and issues all the time. Most of these players don't see, hopefully. That's the goal, right? But we try and stay ahead of them, so that's a really cool experience. I can share tons of stories.
Spill the tea, Ole Andreas. It's been a year. I mean, let's share something with the guys. Anything that really stuck out with you from that period?
I mean, it was an intense launch. A lot of servers that we had to open and keep running. I remember waking up at 2 a.m. I was on call, and I got a phone call from some of the people who are monitoring things, saying, "Hey, we need more server capacity." So I was waking up at 2 a.m. a bit groggy, looking at the data, trying to figure out, okay, we need a couple of more worlds in NA, and then one more in EU and one in Oceania, and I'm just there turning on servers that we've already prepped. It's kind of intense, and it feels surreal now to think back of.
Yeah, it's like a spice dream at this point.
I probably hallucinated a ton.
It's very intense, but it's also kind of cool because it's like you're in the trenches with people that you trust and that you worked with, and you kind of are like, okay, we got to make rapid decisions here because they can cause, big rippling consequences for the player base and things like that. So it's cool, but it's also, as you said, it's like a bonding experience because you kind of, everyone has each other's backs and we're trying to get through stuff. And launch is always like on a multiplayer game, a launch like that is just always, it's painful. Yeah, but it's kind of like exciting as well. It's like there's a buzz and you don't want to sleep and you just kind of let's go. It's
long days, but I mean it's like a huge orchestra that you're trying to organize together, right? Mm-hmm. And it's months of planning, and then suddenly it happens. Yeah, and then it's also at the same time the joy of watching players play. Yes, like finally we could see live streams of people, even streamers that we really love seeing. And on a regular basis, they start playing the game, and we're like, "Oh no, that bug! Oh fuck!" Yeah. Or, "Oh, that's awesome! They love that thing. They found that. That's like an Easter egg that we put in, and they're like, oh, they love that." So, it's all the emotions at once. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys said it best. It's a very unique and intense experience, right? Yeah. And every launch of any game, it's vastly different. Mm-hmm. Happy anniversary, Mallory 1983. Thank you very much. Okay, so hold on. Let me consult with my notes here. But it's not only about our experiences, right? Players have also been busy. I did try to collect some of the player stats that we can look over. Cool. By putting together a very, very basic slides. Don't worry, we will share them in a couple of weeks with you, beautifying them by 100. But there you go. Looking at this, 128,000 players died in sandstorms. I think, relatively modest numbers.
Yeah, that's
know?
I'm disappointed in you, Arrakis. I think you could have done better than that. This is more like my
This
statistics.
is this is better.
Yeah,
I'm a bit look at those Muad'Dibs.
yeah. I mean, I'm quite happy with that. The sad part is that 16,000 of those were Flaming Mojo, from what I understand.
Probably true.
I would not be surprised. Definitely a large number of ornithopters and sound crawlers.
Yeah, Shai-Hulud
with-
has gotten his food.
Yeah. I hope he's not gonna get any digestion problems out of this.
I don't think so.
I find that the total size of player land claims quite interesting. That's why I wanted to put it up. It's a big of a space. To put it into perspective, it is almost twice the size of Rhode Island, or for our European colleagues, it's almost 5 times the size of Greater London. So you guys have built quite a bit of an empire at this point if we would try to really map it out in the real world, not to mention the number of building pieces that has been used so far.
Impressive.
Bosses killed, Landstone missions completed. Obviously, those are the numbers after the Chapter 3. Nothing pre-Chapter 3 has been here. So also looks like quite popular activity.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And this is only the blood that has been extracted by playing. This doesn't account for dead seals. So
This is
the
just like-
overall number would be.
We should ask
much,
for our
much
friends
higher.
at V Rising to send us over their stats on this
I
and
was gonna
do a
say
bit of a
yeah.
comparison. Be interesting.
And this is all the Solaris that has been paid in taxes.
Rip
which,
taxes.
unless you've been living under a rock, obviously taxes are no longer the thing. But, Emperor thanks you.
Emperor got his cut.
You got this. Quite a bit of spice consumed. It just makes me wonder whether we have a drag problem or not.
Oh, it's going to get worse. Don't worry. I have
Should get the
I have
numbers.
big plans around drugs. Don't worry.
Okay, all right.
Should get the numbers from the Schedule 1 developers and see.
Schedule 1, yeah. How much
Gonna
spice?
reach out to all of the different games like, hey, how are things looking on your side?
Comparative stats, yeah. Nice.
Okay, and this one, again, as I said, I put beautiful slides together. Ignacy, maybe we can put this one on full screen. Well, thank you very much. So here we have the numbers of bases that have been reconstructed and the characters that have been transferred since we've added those features most recently.
Shout out to that feature, and I mean Thiago's done an amazing work on that feature. The base reconstruction tool it works super well. I'm so happy with that feature.
Complex. But
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of quirks with it. Obviously, you had some players who ran into very edge cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think right now, most, if not all of them, should have been resolved, right? So all in all, yeah, considering how technically complex all of this is, this has been working actually quite
It's been really
well.
nice.
yeah, it's
Like your entire base, as it was when you backed it up, put back in, construction like queues and everything is there at the same state. That's
was-
pretty good.
yeah, I mean it's quite a difficult and complex challenge to solve, right? Like a part of what we were doing with the game was because it was earlier, it was persistent. We didn't want to do the Fallout 76 thing where your base goes away when you log out. We wanted you to log in and make sure that you always had neighbors. And like Villar and I talked about this pre-launch, and we wanted to make sure that people felt like they were part of a community online. So we wanted to make sure people had that. But then, of course, like people losing stuff is never good. So it's like systematically we've been going through. I think it's something like that I'm proud of from the development side is that like we've been going through systematically and like looking at the top complaints from players about things in the game like loss of vehicles, loss of items, loss of bases, blah blah blah, right? Like not being able to log out and leave the game, etc. And we've just been fixing everything one by one as we go. Like this is fixed. This is no longer a problem. Taxes are gone.
Yeah.
You know, like and I think that's like been our approach is to like try to make it as easy as possible to play Dune Awakening and not feel bad about playing Dune Awakening, but enjoy Dune Awakening, right? That's been kind of
that's
the key.
really the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We want people to have fun with it.
Yeah,
deal with some of the grind of the survival games,
Yeah.
right? But
Well, I mean, it's still a survival game, and I mean that's always been its heart, right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. So
I feel Dune Awakening has never been better than what it is today.
Yeah.
It's
And-
really good.
soon to be even better.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
So
come September, everybody will be able to enjoy the absolute best version yet of Dune Awakening, right? We had this announcement a little over a week ago. Character-centric experience, console release. We have the single-player mode. We have the conclusion of Book 1 story. So kind of everything will be available from start to finish for players across all platforms, not only the console, of course. But console players will definitely benefit from everything that the team has been working on and developing for the past year. So if we skip over to the next slide, we have a bunch of DLCs that have been added. PvP mode is completely optional now across the board. Bigger end game, better systems. The private servers as well obviously is the case, and some of those mechanics that we have discussed right now. I think on the other slide, we also have a good overview of some of those noteworthy improvements and features that we kind of pulled into the game based on what you were saying, Joel.
Yeah.
Responding to feedback, seeing what really is grinding your gears, how we can improve it, how we can make kind of the experience around Dune Awakening better for everyone involved. Right, but yeah, speaking about console, maybe we could play some.
yeah,
What do you guys think?
Okay.
I forgot I was charging the controller here. So
I'm gonna
grab
play.
that, Joel, if you can do us the honors.
yes, I'll enjoy this. I've been I got my hands on like the beta at home, so I've been playing at home quite a lot. So I'm just gonna start now.
Yeah, if you can show the screen there, Ignacy.
Ignacy, this is great. So the first thing that I think people who've been playing this on PC for a long time might notice is that there's a massive advantage to playing on console, and that is basically there is no shader compilation because we can just include the shader compilation cache, the PSO cache with the console. We know exactly what the hardware does, so we don't have any shader compilation. So it just goes straight into the game.
The beauty of not having to deal with like a million different
And
GPUs.
that's just how it is with Unreal 5 and
Yeah.
lots of PCs and stuff. And we're trying to smooth that out on PC as well. All right, so I'll skip
Yeah.
the cutscene.
I think that's worth mentioning. Like one of the things that we're focusing a lot on now is performance, right, as part of console,
Yeah.
and you'll see a massive improvement on that in PC as well. But yeah,
Yep, so you can sort of see a little bit here our new interface for characters. I'll take a new, or actually I can just go to the character carousel.
yeah, you should.
Just show.
And to
okay.
note, you can also use your D-pad, of course.
Yes, sorry, I was using it. And then can create a new character here.
So how many characters can I have total? Is there a limit?
No, I think you'll see 3 in the carousel at a time.
Limit of 10, I believe.
And
Okay.
oh, there's a limit of 10 in
I have to-
addition
I
to the single player?
I have to double check, but yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You can have one single player character at a time
Okay.
when we launch a single player. Just because there's like the database is quite heavy because it's saving your character but also your world, right?
Like the character I made for you.
Toe shoes McBob. I like it, except I'm not wearing toe shoes today. It's so sad. So sad. I like it. Should I play this character?
No, you
No,
can't
no.
make a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think let's go into single player.
This was
Okay.
more to show that
Okay.
how the view is.
So in now you have this option in new game. You choose between a single player, multiplayer. Single player characters can't be transferred to multiplayer. So it's very important to note that. You
Can I
confirm the
transfer my multiplayer character into a single player?
No.
No, not right
The-
now.
Right.
The reason behind that is kind of technical, but they are running different database structures. So
Okay.
the online one and the multiplayer one is Postgres. The single player one is SQLite. This is how we can run a database on a local device. So for now it's too much of a technical challenge.
Right. So once single player comes out, we are gonna have to create new characters to.
For single player, yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right.
And then obviously you select difficult. These are like guidelines from us, really. Survival is the closest to the online multiplayer experience, but it still has some tweaks to make single player work
Okay.
a little better because we know that you won't be playing with groups so that we know that the end game is slightly different, right, in single player. And then you can, of course, instead choose to go custom difficulty. And here you can see some of the custom settings. We're in the middle of implementing a lot of these. So
And this is an older build as well.
this is an older build,
not
right?
final.
So like crafting costs, but under the crafting tab, you'll actually see a bunch more stuff. What do
There'll
you-
be harvesting efficiency, crafting speed, water extraction speed, loot respawn speed, building cost, resource respawn speed. Yeah,
Yeah, so there's a lot more options coming that are going to show up here when this is actually live, right?
yep. I can go through them. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah. Player damage. This is the combat tab.
Yeah.
Player damage, enemy health, enemy damage, item durability. Oh, I'm sure that's going to make people happy.
The red bar.
The
you
red
can
bar will be
remove
gone
it.
for some people if they don't want it.
We'll also have incoming damage, so it's split. And then we'll have the player stamina drain, item max durability loss, and then we'll have global experience and then also individual experience sliders from different types of experience. And I think that's it on this slide.
Okay.
Or this one.
And then custom settings. This is for what you drop on death. Right now you have a choice of everything, backpack only, or nothing. And it does say in red here, setting does not apply when killed by a sandworm. Oh, I went out again. Sorry, that's me.
But there will be a different slide.
But we will add one setting for that. So
Yeah.
people, I really, it hurts my soul to allow people to not lose everything to a sandworm, but sometimes my soul just has to be hurt. That's just how it has to be. That's game development, people. Sometimes you lose part of your soul along the way.
It's the natural cycle of being a game developer.
And then
yeah, we'll
some
have
of these are quite interesting, especially for people who love building in our game.
Yeah.
Being able to disable the area building restrictions means that you'll be able to build in lots of places where you can't build on the multiplayer or live areas. These settings, by the way, should be available on all custom servers as well.
Yep.
Right,
So they
so all
aren't
the
just. This isn't
self-hosted-
just single player. It's just we're showing you
Okay.
it through single player. So self-hosted people have options like this. So disabling area building means you can build basically wherever you want. There's a couple of points here that are important. They're in red. If you decide to build inside caves, you can't assume that you'll get shelter from that because that's not how the game works, and it doesn't take into account that you'll get shelter just because you have a cave above your head. And if you build in locations where you block quest givers and things like that, then of course there'll be unexpected consequences for the game.
So there can be some quirks happening. if you
Absolutely. We
build
wanted
in
to give
weird
people
places.
maximum freedom.
Okay.
Maximum freedom to build and maximum freedom to play the game and do cool builds how they want, but you know, sometimes authored content can get destroyed by that. So that's just how it works.
another one that's not there right now, but building stability will also have a toggle. Oh, it's there, right?
It's there.
Actually, yeah.
Ignore building stability.
And they'll have base decay as well as a slider,
Okay.
as an option. So
So yeah, you have a fair few options and a lot more coming into this menu.
Are we gonna have anything to control sandworms,
Yeah, you
damage from
can-
hazards?
you can disable sandworms and sandstorms
Okay.
on and off. That's options that are going to be there.
Cool.
And obviously, if there's more options down the line that people are asking for, we'll consider them as well. But yeah, that's it's going to be a lot of options there.
And so this is running. We're running on a PlayStation 5 dev kit.
Test kit. but
Test
yeah.
kit.
Test kit, yeah.
Sorry. But basically, this is the game running on PS5. I think I've been playing at home, and I'm actually fairly impressed at how smooth everything's running. It's been really good.
Yeah.
We're running in quality mode, which is running at 60 FPS or
The quality mode is running at 30 FPS, and then you have performance mode running at 60 FPS.
okay. But there was some discussion about are we keeping it that way? Or
I
is there-
believe for now, yeah, we're.
Yeah. Okay.
I-
All right.
I believe so, but we'll see. Some
I'll-
of these the decisions are still pending until we are done sorting and all of that stuff.
I'll take my my normal character here and give her my normal name.
So when we're talking about single player, is it online single player or is it offline single player?
So you need to authenticate when you log in, but then once you've done that, so logging in authenticates your character
Right.
list, right, which is stored on the Funcom Live services.
Yeah.
So your character lists and things are gotten from there. Once that's done, you can disconnect and you can play offline if you want to.
And this is also like all the information around which DLCs you own and all of that stuff
Yes,
is a
that's
part
all
of
stored
that
there.
logging
Right.
information. So,
So
it's
on
important.
the entitlement will be
Yeah, exactly.
properly loaded. I
But
see.
once you're in the game, that shouldn't be the case. Then you can go offline if you want to.
Okay.
I can fix her, my favorite character.
Yeah.
I have another character I call Morgan Freeman, but
So one of the other comments I've also seen online and a discussion among the players was, how are we going about adjusting some of those multiplayer features into the single player reality, right? We have the exchange, we have social hub, we have deep desert, we have a launch strat. Are you guys able to tell us anything, how are we approaching this?
Sure. It's not the deep desert so much as the Coriolis storm, I think, that is the actual interesting part for the change there. The deep desert will have a single layout that we're going to keep. The Coriolis storm will be reduced so that it doesn't wipe everything for players. The Landsrad will change to be like driven in the back end by like a simulation of a competition for the player. So it will basically create like enemy guilds that are basically making progress in the Landsrad for you to compete against. And then what was the last one we were talking about?
The exchange.
Exchange has now been replaced with just a series of like off-world vendors.
Right.
Because the exchange doesn't really serve any purpose in single player. So I'm going to skip some cinematics here. I hope no one's too offended.
I think
mean,
we'll be okay.
You're
Jumping.
the one who's the saddest, I guess.
I've seen them a million times now. It's fine.
But then
I'm more excited about the new cinematics coming in.
Oh, they're going to be great.
There's some cool stuff coming.
But then for the launch strat, will single player players need to create a guild, or will they be able to engage with it right from the get-go?
No, guilds have been removed from single player.
Right.
So players will be able to, once they've done the appropriate faction leveling, because you do have to join a faction and get to a certain tier there. Once you've done that, you'll be able to jump straight into the Landsrad and start participating in the Landsrad. So that's all coming in and going to be there for players in single player, yeah. And then, of course, some of these options will go to self-hosted as well, and then we'll see. Yeah. There's a lot about the Deep Desert, for example, that we're discussing internally about how we want to, should the PvP and PvE versions remain the same? Should we be doing more in different areas to make them work differently? I'm not going to bother to follow this journey. I'm just going to go kill people. It's the fun part. Another cool thing with the controller, it's not actually implemented in the build we're playing, but I've been like gung-ho about getting good haptics on this so that people can really feel like, especially on the PlayStation 5, you have the haptic triggers, or what they have a specific name for it.
Adaptive triggers.
Adaptive triggers, that's it. So I've been like, the audio guys and I put some of our designers on like making sure that this is a really cool experience, especially if you think about vibration from the sandworm when you're walking on the sand and things like that. Players really should get that feeling through their hands as they're playing. So that's another cool thing about playing on console. Anyway, back to the
and for adaptive triggers, when you do like blocks and attacks with your melee, that should feel like you have some resistance.
Yeah, the slow blading someone through a shield with an adaptive trigger is like a pretty cool moment, right? Things like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff we're doing that are like, these are just components that come with the console experience that are part of it. And yes, we're trying to make it work on PC if you play with a controller on PC as well. Not all of the things are as straightforward on PC. But we're trying. I'm just going to avoid those bombs.
You enjoy watching the tutorial?
I love tutorials.
Read everything. Read tutorials. That's definitely something you would want people to do more.
Absolutely.
Boom.
One other question I had for you as well as a clarification, since we also seen this being asked quite a bit online, for console players specifically, what's the best way for them to play in co-op?
So in co-op, you need to play in multiplayer. You need to choose multiplayer and join a multiplayer game. And that's where you can meet up and play with friends. Yep. The solo version of the game is really single player. It is just you running a local version of the game.
So basically going into one of the official servers and starting your journey there.
Join an official server, meet your friends there, tell them which one you're going to be on. Yep.
I think one thing that is cool, because the settings that you were setting up while you were starting the game, you can actually go in and change them at any point in time while playing single player.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you can actually now just press the system menu.
Hold on. I have to remember which buttons it is.
And then go to server settings, which is not
On
going
the
to be
left,
called server settings, it's going to be called difficulty settings. But yeah, you can have them
so
here
I
as
can
well.
change all these on the fly.
Anytime.
Nice.
If you have an experience that you found this was too difficult or too easy, you can just go in and tweak to your liking.
Yeah, so if you're getting frustrated in the middle of the game,
Yep.
it's nice. It feels like cheating, but it's okay. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. I don't know if your own body will. I don't know if you'll like feel good about yourself afterwards when you cheat your player damage up to beat a boss. But, you know, if these don't explode now, I'll be upset.
We leave it in the hands of the players, right? That's part of it.
Oh,
It's
you
their
thought you hit him, bro.
experience.
Yeah, dodged. What the hell? All right. Yeah, skill issue for sure. Come here, buddy.
She's the one shot. So the one, I mean, now we're playing melee, but one thing that we're doing for ranged as well, of course, is that we're adding better aim assist or aim assist in general
Yes.
to the game. So if you want to, you can turn it off, of course, but you'll have the option to have aim assist, which I
More
do
aim
know is
assist on-
important
yeah.
for quite a lot of console players.
Yeah, and accessibility as well. So,
Yeah.
these things are important for players. And by the way, I was talking about adaptive triggers and things. Those are all things that you'll be able to turn off as well. So you'll have the option to turn them off.
Absolutely.
Also important for accessibility. Cool.
So I guess that's a common theme across the entire thing is that we're giving players more options to choose how they want to play the game.
Yeah, I think that's been something that I'm a champion of since Conan Exiles, really. Like every time someone asks me, should we do this or this? My response is always, make it an option. As best we can.
Yeah.
Because like in these type of games, people really want to customize their experience, and giving them that option is, I feel like, the best way.
So we know this is gonna be releasing on September 22nd, but will players be able to firstly test the console at any time earlier? Are we?
Yes. So we will have a couple of closed beta weekends. That'll be we'll send out some possibilities for people to sign up, and then we'll choose a few people that will have to sign an NDA and be a part of the testing group. So we will be running a few of those, similar to what we did for PC back in the days, just to get some initial feedback from our players and see how things work. Also stress testing some of our systems, making sure we're ready for launch. So that's coming. Right now, tentatively end of June, late June.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's perfect. So if anyone out there is interested in potentially joining the closed beta for the console of Dune Awakening, definitely keep an eye on our channels. Whenever we have all the information squared away, we will be asking people to register, tell us their interest, and then start inviting them to test the game. But testing the console is one thing. We obviously have all the things new coming in the patch. Will the kind of console patch be also available on PTC at any point?
Yes, we are going to go quite early to PTC, Public Test Client, with this build that we're planning to ship with console. So also towards the end of June is the tentative date for putting this current version that we're working on in PTC.
Yes. Basically everything you're seeing here, except for the actual PlayStation 5 part, should be coming to PTC very soon. Maybe an even better version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
a lot of-
since right now I think we're having the game running on the 1.5 build, which is our third build.
Yes.
But we're also working on day one patch 151 that will have some of the additional changes, improvements, and quality of life updates, which some of them will actually go over later with Alex.
Yes, that's right.
You're getting attacked.
You have the markers.
Oh shit! Wasn't paying any attention.
Quickly, switch the screen, switch the screen.
No. Let me man up and handle this properly with the heavy attack at 10x damage. I think I'll be okay. That's funny. Thanks, Ignacy. It's a good thing you've got my back.
I'm the skill.
Otherwise, I'd have looked like a moron on stream. Oh wait. Never mind.
I didn't say
That should
anything.
Never happened before. Cool.
Yeah, but there you have it. Dune Awakening on console, PS5.
You saw it here first.
That's it. There will be more opportunities for you to lay your hands on it. So definitely keep an eye on our channels for more information. Right now, let's maybe cut into a little break. We're gonna swap Ole Andreas for Alex, our expert designer, to talk a little bit more about some of the quality of life and changes coming in 1.4.10 and 1.5.1. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Peace.
Hello, welcome back.
I'm Alex.
Everyone. Yes, we had a transformation. Okay, a little bit of miscommunication. Don't worry about it. Alex is safe and sound. There's nothing wrong. Nothing happened. But he will not join us today, unfortunately. So we'll stick with Ole Andreas. We're gonna
I'm sorry, guys.
do what we can, right?
No, they're mostly sad that I'm still here, but that's okay.
No, we're not. We're not, Joel.
I'll do my best British accent.
Alex, yeah.
Well, I think we were all caught off guard, you know, because we were talking about the live stream all day. It's like, okay, let's get everything squared away. We did the rehearsals.
I think we got to tell the audience. So Alex thought it was tomorrow, so he left. He went home, and we just went to get him, and we're like, "Dude, you're on the live stream." And we called him, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, no, like, okay, I'm at home. Okay, well, cool, man. I guess we'll do it. It's fine. That's fine."
We got this.
Alex, yeah, that's brilliant. Actually, it's kind of
I
funny.
said it's gonna be more laid back today, so we're living up to the promise. Obviously, for the past few minutes, you could also see the progress that Caroline is making with the tattoos. So that's coming along nicely. But yes, obviously we have the console release, we have the single player mode, both technically challenging features, very complex. But that's not the only thing that we're doing, right? Alongside, we have a slew of quality of life changes, improvements. That work never stops.
No.
Because-
and combat in particular, right? Like there's a lot of focus. So when we knew we were launching on console and we had a date and things, I've been having the team go through the game and like identify pain points, identify problems, like identify issues. I've been playing myself. There's a lot of times where I've been like cursing and swearing loudly and stomping down the corridor and being like, God damn, I hate this about our game. And then I have a conversation with Alex and the team and we figure out how we're going to mitigate this issue or solve it. So we can talk about some of those things that we're doing. 1.51, I think, is going to be like quite a shift in some of the areas of the game that will make it smoother, a better experience and a better playing experience for people.
And when we say 1.5.1, we mean the version that ships with console.
Yes.
That's right. Day one patch, right?
Day zero or day zero patch, day one patch.
It depends who you're talking to,
But
but yeah.
it's gonna be there on September 22nd.
Yes, exactly.
That's all you
Yes.
guys need to know.
And yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And on Test Live, I think, or
Yeah, it'll be on PTC.
PTC soon.
So that will be the version people will be testing on the public.
Yep.
display, right?
And we'll be getting a lot of feedback on it as early as we can. So yeah.
But we also had another patch coming out on the public test client earlier today.
Yes.
It's 1.4.10. It also have quite a few interesting changes that we should maybe take a look and just quickly skim through on some of the highlights. 5 new launch-stop missions for Haga Basin and Smuggler Run. So I'm personally very glad to see that we continue adding new missions.
Yep.
I think this is the feedback that we've seen a lot. People want to have more missions. People want to have more variety as well.
Yeah.
Since there is a lot of combat, obviously.
Yeah,
in some
I
of
think
those.
the Landsrad mission, like I talked about it with Chapter 3, right? Like this was the beginning. It's the beginning of what we're doing here, right? And we're going to end up with, if we end up with 500 Landsrad missions over the next few years, then people won't be seeing the same missions very often, right? And things will come up, and it'll give people a lot more variety in the way that they play. The idea is, as we lean into the specializations, we also can adjust our missions towards more playstyles. John Wixon and the content team are working on more interesting ways to build missions in the game, which I think is going to be exciting stuff that people will start to see come to fruition in the next period, over the next year. Definitely you'll see the first hints of that on the polar caps, which I guess we can mention at some point.
Yeah.
These 5 missions were made by one of our designers called Amar. He was setting this up to try and exploit a little bit. Oh, someone's just gone straight to the polar caps. That's fine. Yeah, so polar caps is cool. We'll talk about it's cool, pun intended. Yeah, but like this is going to be a new survival experience for players as well. There's a storyline that's sort of a standalone storyline in the polar cap. It's not in the main story. It's like a side story that you go to the polar cap and experience. And we'll talk about a lot of this stuff, I think. But the content team right now, they're looking at how to make missions more interesting, make sure that the mechanics of the missions are interesting. There's a real dynamic that I think is it's a very interesting tension between people who are just like, I just want my specialization XP and then I want to fuck off. And other people who are like, can't you make the missions more interesting? And it's like some people are there for the speed, some people are there for the experience.
I'm definitely there for the experience.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
these missions that Amar has
these
been
are
working
cool.
on are really cool. Like
I love Convergence. I think that might be
top, like hands down the one I love the most as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like the fact that you see a huge visual impact on the world as you do it,
it's really cool.
Really cool.
Really cool. So these are exciting and they're coming in, and I'm excited for people to play them and give feedback. But I mean, this is our goal, right? Like keep adding these things to the game, keep giving people more activities, and then on our end, like from a higher and a longer term systemic level, trying to find ways to make more and more systemic and interesting ways to play the game.
And obviously, we've mentioned Polar Cap. As we keep adding content as well, these will fit into the new
Absolutely.
content.
There'll be new Landsrad missions that take into account the polar cap.
Yes.
Even though the polar cap itself is its own closed loop about the game, right? Which I think is also going to be, well, super interesting. It's finally like a big, I've talked about it before, right? That or maybe just in an interview or two, but like I've talked about how the progression loop through gear and crafting and things is one thing, but the survival loops and giving people new survival challenges is a part of the experience we haven't really had that much chance to test, and the polar cap will be one of the things that puts that really into perspective, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited. What can I say? So that's the first thing we did today.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, the performance work has been a massive undertaking.
So this is part of the things that you've mentioned that were added to the consoles already, right?
Yes, yes. So this, like, we did this obviously as part of optimizing the console. We have targets we need to meet, but at the same time, we're looking at what are the main issues on live right now, looking at the telemetry, seeing what the performance data is telling us, and then we can pull some of those changes that we find are okay risk-wise, like they've been through enough testing, so that we can put them out there, and we can already go live with them to the PC version, which is amazing. So the performance optimizations done in 1.4.10 is significant.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, right? Like it isn't just like, I think performance optimization, some people think it's just a render coder or a or a back-end coder sitting making optimizations, but no, our level designers need to go in and work on assets. Our environment artists are going in and like making assets more performant, making sure the composition of scenes, the way that things stream in is better. It's actually a lot of hands on deck making sure these things work well. And then you have like consoles. At this point, I think the generation of consoles is maybe 5 years old.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years old. So we're like, it's like the Xbox Series S, for example, is a fair challenge for optimization, right? And that the game runs pretty decently, I think, at the moment. And
super happy about how well it runs.
It's kind of
on the Series
crazy,
S
like
right
how good the optimization team has done. And I know I see a lot of like snide comments online around Unreal 5 and stuff, but it does come down to the dev team taking the time to optimize and actually make things work well. And we've been pretty, I think, solid about this. I think Dune Awakening ran pretty well at launch and has continued to be optimized since then to be even more performant.
And we know there still are issues, right? But we'll keep working on them. I think console launch, the one that we're shipping there, is going to be a very solid,
very good
experience for performance.
Yep.
So with this patch in particular and those changes, what do we hope people will see a difference in their gameplay in Haga Basin? Is it going to be less stutter or what?
Less stutters. There was a massive optimization on building streaming and how it loads in.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
smoother frame rates across the board, right? Like more level frame rates instead of big frame drops.
Yep.
People should be. Yep. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well, we definitely gonna need to test that, but please share your feedback with us. Some other changes, we're reducing the boss health by 20% for the four-man groups in dungeon runs. I think that always is appreciated. The comments that I see quite a lot is...
It's the number of ads, right?
Guys, it's the number of ads that is actually an issue. It's not really the boss. Is that something we're also looking at in the near future?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's been controversial. Like people weren't happy that we were reducing boss health so much as they were saying it's the number of ads, it's the cost to reward ratio of running these dungeons right now in a four-man group, especially at higher challenge levels. So yeah, there's balanced tweaks going on.
But it's
a lot
of
discussion.
Complex picture, right?
Yes.
You wanna. There's multiple variables to tweak here. So I mean, Alex and his team, he's not here, but they've been looking at all of these different parameters. So number of ads, boss
This
health.
was an Alex topic. He would have spoken very confidently about what they were doing, and I haven't been having these discussions with him exactly.
Trying to make the best out of it, but yeah, they're definitely looking into that. I've been snooping in their Jira for the past few days, so I know there's some tasks that are currently in progress, and something we're kind of trying to investigate. The cargo container weight has been increased. This is primarily an anti-griefing change, since we've seen people doing some unwanted behavior, pushing the cargo container with their vehicles. Now it should not be possible anymore, or at least be way more difficult for them. I think the change that will be very heavily discussed among the communities, obviously, the change that now players will be falling from vehicles once they are at a certain speed, which is basically the so-called topter surfing that has been used quite predominantly on the deep desert. It's no longer gonna be the case, right? I think right now you can still be on a vehicle to a certain speed, but then if you would try to go in a vulture mode,
and
then
once you hit
you're
a
just
speed
gonna
threshold,
get
you
blown
fall.
out,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is always that complicated line between fun and balance, right? Because like it's actually kind of cool that like, oh, like I lost my Thopter, can you come pick me up? Someone comes picks you up with their Thopter. They don't have an extra seat. They're flying a Scout Thopter. You stand on it, you get a ride back to wherever you want to be. I saw great moments in the community with this around launch and throughout the game. But on the other hand, people standing on ornithopters with las guns, you know, using them in an unintended way to destroy other people. It's like, it's funny, but not for the people losing stuff, right? So we needed to fix that, and we have. So now it should be, like, it's still possible to ferry your friend around as long as you don't go crazy with the speed. But this has kind of been put an end to now. The ability to, las gun the shit out of people while
as you said,
Thopter surfing.
also with the specializations, right? Like the power creep has been much larger, so you could really destroy vehicles faster, even if we did some changes to kind of mitigate that in the past. But yeah, absolutely something for you guys to take a look at. Tell us what you think. Those are certain numbers that we can always tweak, but this is the general direction we're going towards. Again, an immediate follow-up question I expect people to have is, are we going to be looking at anything else regarding aerial combat or dogfights for balancing?
I mean, we'll look at it as a balance format right now. It's not the focus for me of like even for PvP in the future. Right? Like I think the nature of the vehicles is not such that they should. We're not trying to make a dogfighting game. I think our game plays best in combat when it's on the ground between parties, right? So I think our future goals, I sort of mentioned this on one of the other live streams, would be things like no fly zones in the deep desert, so people are forced to the ground to do combat in certain areas. So I think like that's where I would put more focus rather than trying to make dogfight. Like I think we'll just spread ourselves too thin trying to make dogfighting good. It wouldn't be it won't be the best experience in the game. I think it's far better to like focus on actual ground combat between enemies. So that's kind of how I feel about it, right?
And then some other things. We still had some edge case vehicles that people weren't able to recover. If anyone was in that situation, please check once the patch goes live. There will be some vehicles being recovered via your vehicle backup tool. So hopefully that should cover all the edge cases that we were still having out there. Some improvements to the controllers, of course, right? As we're kind of working on the console, this is automatically coming in for everyone as well to enjoy. And then the last is adjustment and changes to the visibility in Haga Basin during the Coriolis storm build-up. So, those hours before the Coriolis storm hits, we did get some feedback regarding like, hey, sometimes it's really hard to see in Haga Basin specifically, right? We have it for the reason to kind of notify players that something big is coming, but I think the changes there right now should at least make it easier for you guys to move around and still play the game until the very last moment, right?
Yeah, I think people will they'll understand the Coriolis storm is coming still, but this will improve your ability to play. There were people saying it was just like, I don't log in on Tuesdays. Because of this, right?
And that's not the intention, right? We don't want to...
Not the intention at all.
Limit people from playing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can read the full patch notes on juneawakening.com. And obviously, as we said, the patch is available on the PTC. Go out there, test it, and do provide your feedback via the dedicated Discord server we have for the public test client. Vanessa is having her watchful eye on everything that's going on there. So any issues, feedback, she will be very quick to convey it back to the team. Shout out to her and the
Vanessa, we
rest of
trust.
the live team that are making
just do
all
that?
of this happen.
Yeah.
Did you just do
I'm-
the millennial love
I'm
symbol?
sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
We'll-
such a
That's all right.
old dog.
we'll
An old
forgive you.
dog.
But yeah, then we were saying, hey, we have this day 1, day 0 patch on consoles. So let's take a look at some of the highlights. This is very high level, but I think it should help us convey generally what we're looking at.
Yes.
So yeah, Joel, if you could maybe try and
Sure.
talk
So
to
a lot
us.
of
Channel
this
your
is-
inner Alex.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the stuff that I've been screaming about,
Alex,
right?
tell us about this.
So a lot of the stuff I've been screaming about, and the combat team has taken on board. So yeah, obviously soft lock target selection. There's been improvements there, especially with the controller, making sure that you are attacking what you think you should be attacking. We've added we've improved the dash tutorial because we felt like even though it was teaching you dash, it wasn't teaching you dash in the context of how dash should be taught. So now people hopefully learn to understand that they can dash pretty much out of anything in the game and that this is the preferred way of moving during combat. We've updated the second wind mechanic. This is more that the second wing mechanic will start to kick in much sooner. People won't be locked into... Basically, I have this massive problem with players getting into a state where they have no inputs or their inputs are ignored because they don't have stamina, right? It creates this feeling of frustration. I'm trying to do this and I can't do it and it's killing me. Right, so the second wind will kick in sooner. It'll get your stamina back faster. We've fixed. There's these moments in the game where I just rage quit. I have these massive videos that I send to the combat team of me being ganged up on by like NPCs with shields, and I'm just meleeed into a corner. There's 3 dudes hitting me, and I can't dash out of that space. I can't get through it, and then I try to fly up in the air, and I get like staggered in the air because it's the same stagger animation, and then I just get killed, right? And I'm like, we need to figure out ways to make this feel good for players. So allowing dashing through characters right now means you can get out of those tight corners when you get trapped. This will definitely improve things in like dungeons. The wave problem we were discussing, like that's one of the things that happens as well. You just get ganged up on. It'll fix things in the late game when there's a lot of rushes. We've rebalanced our parry. We've made it more generous in some ways, and changed a little bit of the way that it works. It should be very nice for people. We found, especially with controller triggers being the activators, that the parry timings were harder, and so we've made them more lenient, but I still think it'll make for better stuff. We'll talk about some of that. Like there are things like getting stamina back when you do a proper parry and things like that. There's a thing called the melee combat circle, kung fu circle for internal parlance. This is how NPCs attack you and how they decide when they're going to attack you. We've changed the ticketing system for this so that you won't have people like you can right now. What can happen in the game is like I do a parry of a guy who attacks me, but because his buddy attacked at the exact same moment, or with a half a second delay, I don't parry the second thing and I take damage, and it just feels bad as a player because you had no way to react. So this will create a better experience there. We're doing some rules around the central stamina bar so people understand the visibility. Range combat, massive one, is the aim assist. We've been looking at that. We've been shaping it for all of the different weapon types. Our 3Cs designer is on top of that. We've refactored some of the way the crosshair accuracy works. And we've changed some of the way ranged AI accuracy works because we did have some very... interesting behaviors, let's say, where they became 100% accurate very quickly, and it created strange behaviors for the players to have to deal with. And then, we've been looking at how the ways that abilities activate on controllers. There's still a few things there that we're fixing, but some things trigger differently on controllers than they do on PC, and it feels a bit off some way or another. So we're trying to fix that. And then there's a bunch of usability bugs for things like abilities. So, there's a lot of stuff going in 1.51. That's just on combat, right? This is just the
it's
combat.
just a slice. Right?
And
It's not.
I guess one additional thing to mention is the soft lock targeting will have some options as well in settings for you to choose. So you can tune it a little bit to your liking.
In tune the way the soft lock works. And then, I don't know if we're talking at all about like some of the other streamlining stuff we've done.
Oh, you tell me everything.
No, but it's like the game flow as well, right? Like so to talk about, we didn't have the base reconstruction tool when we launched. So when you started the game, you build a little base in Hager Basin South, and then you move north and rebuild your base using the base, the base copy tool. But now we have the reconstruction tool, so actually you're able to pick up your base through the tutorial. So we're teaching people to use the base reconstruction tool, making that flow from Hager Basin to Amelius Gap for people much smoother in the beginning of the game. We've taken a look at, like, I know that people will laugh at this because the way that the contracts worked earlier, a lot of the contracts from the first trade post were sending you past the places you need to go, or people ended up going back to the same location 3 times to complete their contracts. So we've been taking a good look at the contract flow throughout the entire game, making sure that players get a better experience, a smoother experience as they play the game. And there's still all the frictions of survival. It's not like, I think there's like this, when devs say streamline, people go dumb down, but that's not what we're doing. We're just making it so that you don't get frustrated, because there are frustration points in the game that I think we can just ease the edges off, but we'll keep the frictions in other places, so it's fine.
And in addition, obviously, we're fixing a ton of bugs. That's also in combat.
Oh, yeah.
They're working their way through a bunch of bugs that we know have seen on live that we want to get to at some point. So that's, I mean, since launch we've fixed thousands of bugs. I know there's still bugs there sometimes, but we'll keep at it, churning at them.
Thousands of bugs, yep. I've seen the numbers.
It's a never-ending story, right? It's an ongoing effort.
Yeah. It's a big game, complicated
as
game.
we add content, there will be things we need to fix.
Oh, no,
right?
AI's going to fix it all right. I'm joking, I'm joking.
So one thing that just came to mind, obviously, when this would arrive on PTC, on the first release, whenever we're ready, we said end of June, beginning of July or whatever, I would imagine it's not going to have everything, right? We will still be patching the PTC, regularly adding additional content that the teams are kind of polishing in finalizing, right?
Also, a huge part of it is, like, we want to hear what the players think. We want to get their feedback. So once we ship it to PTC, we'll make sure that we follow it on Discord. There will be a Discord for that community that we have testing it, and we'll then keep iterating on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a strong affinity for running betas and listening to what players are saying and trying to improve the game towards what people want. So we'll continue with that. And yeah, I think we will have most of this in by the time we put this on PTC, right? This should be, because the team is so summer in Norway is always there's a vacation period as well, right, coming up, and so we're trying to make sure that everything is in place before any of that happens, and then we'll be in what we call stabilization mode for our patches.
Yeah, so
which means that we'll be stabilizing, but not adding a ton of new stuff. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how production cycles go. We go through the alpha and beta, and then we go into stabilization.
Mm-hmm.
And the PTC build will be after we go into stabilization. So there might still be issues and bugs and stuff, but that's what stabilization is for.
Right. Cool. So all of that, getting ready for September, but there are still months before the end of year. We briefly touched upon Polar Cup. But I wouldn't feel good, and I'm pretty sure community would also didn't feel good about me if I wouldn't try to maybe extract a little bit more out of you. Any little tease, anything else you can tell us about the Polar Cup to satisfy the excitement and the curiosity that we really have seen after the Polar Cup announcement?
Sure. I mean,
or tease rather.
I think this is interesting because it's probably one of the first times that Dune Awakening shows a part of Dune that hasn't been shown in any other media. The books mention the Polar Cap, they mention the faction, the Water Shippers, who and there's a specific character called Lingar Butte, and Lingar Butte is a water shipper. He's at the banquet scene in the book, and there's more about him in the extended Dune stories. And so the player doesn't really know what's happening, right? But the player is given a job to go and investigate the Polar Cap because there's a bit of a water crisis going on and people aren't receiving their water shipments from the Polar Cap. And so you kind of go into the Polar Cap blind, and I don't want to spoil too much, but essentially leads to the player having to go back to the basics of survival for a while and figuring out what's going on, uncovering what's happening here. And it introduces a whole bunch of new mechanics around crafting, a bunch of new mechanics around ice harvesting and things like that, right? Things that you would expect to see. And
we also want to continue evolving some of the systems that we've been starting to evolve, such as augments, for example. That's part of the things that we want to continue evolving.
There are rewards that you will get here in the ice. Like there is a reason for the ice cap to exist, and you will get things here that you can't get anywhere else in the game. And there are resources here that you need that you can't get elsewhere in the game. So this is like going to become an important part of the overall game loop for the game.
Well, I'm excited. I cannot wait until we actually will be able to speak concrete about the Power Cup. Today is not the day, but I appreciate.
And we'll get Jeff G in here to sit on the couch and talk about it. Because Jeff G is the man digging through the ice and snow. Well, there's no snow, but the ice of the polar cap.
Yeah.
No precipitation on Arrakis. That's my
important rule.
But yeah, it's cool. It's going to be great, and I think people are going to be really interested in how we approach this.
Awesome. All right. So there we have it. More to come very, very soon.
Hey,
Needs more rocks.
Our names looks familiar. El Jefe from Discord. But yeah, we're gonna go into a little break, and after that we'll officially open our rapid fire Q&A session. We had a bunch of questions pre-submitted through the Reddit thread for the live stream, but also Nicole has been paying attention to everything you guys have been saying in chat, and we'll be answering as many as we can.
It's actually quite crazy, by the way. I didn't realize, but Nicole's birthday is the same day as Dune Awakening's birthday. I had no idea.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Nicole.
birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday, Nicole. Maybe we'll have something to celebrate that in a very moment.
Yes.
But before the live stream, we've also asked you guys or the community to share some of the stories from Dune Awakening, and we have picked some of them to highlight for everyone to see. Any player that has their story highlighted, thank you very much. We will be contacting you later this week and giving a code for the Atreides battle rifle as a little token of our appreciation, but also we appreciate everyone else who decided to share some of their personal stories that they had with Dune Awakening. So let's take a look at that, and we will be back for a Q&A in a very few moments. Yeah, well, welcome back.
Suddenly appeared.
Wild Alex appeared. He ran from home to join the live
Like
stream.
actually,
He actually ran. How many Ks away do you
through
live?
something.
3.5 Ks, yeah. Nice. You don't seem that sweaty,
No,
all
it's
things
fine.
considered.
It's magic.
Yeah.
You run regularly anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but we couldn't say no, so we will be in this very weird setup.
Very close.
But hey, it is the anniversary live stream. We are spicing things up. But yeah, I mean, the more the merrier. We have a bunch of questions that we will be answering. So, Nicole, whenever you're ready, just drop them on the screen and we'll do our best to answer them.
Just want to take a bit, so just
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna take a moment. We're gonna fill the gap.
Nice.
There we go. The Faithful Sheriff. Any plans for new variants for Carry All and Sandcrawler?
I mean, yes.
Simple question, simple answer. We will be adding more variants at some point.
At some point.
Some point,
Yeah,
yes.
CMDR Atlas. Are there any plans for new guild-oriented features? From Reddit.
It's a good
Guild-oriented
question.
features.
Any of those 2027 features that will...
Ooh, that's spicy actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about it too much.
No, you're
Not
not.
yet.
But-
I'd rather we don't.
but-
you can
Yeah.
say yes or no.
I'm just thinking of like guild-oriented comes with certain connotations,
Yeah.
right? That I'm like, there are like I would say multiplayer-oriented that like guilds will definitely participate in as a guild, but not it's hard to say. Like it's not like, hey, this is specific only for a guild and only a guild. I don't think that would be honest,
Okay.
if that makes sense. That's it, huh? No more questions? No. Yes.
WJCVN, will there be more events like the one with the crashed ships and missiles that shot them down? I would love to see an event with
Yes.
a solar eclipse on Arrakis. So yeah, you mentioned that earlier, Joel. We're definitely looking at.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like there's one I have a personal I was gonna say absolutely the wrong word. I have a personal love for this particular thing that I was going to that I would like to do for a specific season of the year, a specific holiday season in the real world that I would like to push for. Anyone who's played Secret World knows that there's a particular season that I really liked to do events for there, and I would like to bring some of that kind of flavor to Dune. So I have an idea, and I'm going to push hard to try and get that.
We have a chat on that next week, I believe.
Yes, I do think I called the chat next Tuesday.
Insane. Is there content planned before September 22nd for PC?
I mean, the Landsrad missions went out today.
No,
Or
PTC.
they're on PTC.
PTC
Yeah,
today.
yeah. So there is the new Landsrad missions will be coming before September 22nd. But no, otherwise I think that's pretty clearly it. And then the
Yes.
events that are being run.
So we're having a bunch of events,
Yep.
and then the Landsrad missions. But from there on until console launch, it's
Yeah, and just to explain that, right? Like it's also because there's what we call certification for console. Certification is where you send in the builds to Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. If you're doing that, we aren't, and they have to certify, and it's quite a long process, right? And you need to pass this before you're able to launch on consoles, and the builds need to be delivered fairly cleanly with like very little issue. So like we can't if we want to have parity when we launch on console with PC, we want to have both versions on the same thing. We can't just be updating the PC version in the middle of this, right? We actually have to
exactly
hold back and keep everything together. It's part of the reason why Polar Cap's coming later in the year as well. Because if we could have, Polar Cap's really cool and we could have dumped it in the middle of this, but then it would have messed up all of our console plans. So no, it all kind of needs to come in the right order, sadly.
Yep.
Right. So 1.4.10, technically last content patch before September.
Correct. But there will be some events.
Yeah,
That's-
and there might be
Right
there might be a 1.4.20 with some hotfixes. No, I don't remember.
nothing planned right
Okay,
now.
nothing planned. Ask the production guy. He knows.
Okay. All right. I didn't catch the previous question, Nicole, so you will.
So there's like a 10-second delay between she sends and you get it. So
Right.
it's gonna be
Oh,
a
okay.
delay.
All right,
Apparently, there's a little bit of
work
delay
around it.
between. Yeah.
We'll work around it.
It's like the delay between my mouth and my brain.
Whoa.
Sorry. It's true, though.
Just a little dance, I guess.
How was your run, Alex?
That's fine.
Those
I enjoyed it.
pixels,
Oh, hold on, here
are
we go.
there any plans in the pipeline for guilds, custom flags, expanded members to 64, guild permissions for vehicles, perks, etc.?
I think that comes back to the other question about guilds, which is I would say no, I'd be lying if I said there was. We could talk about things like that. Like extending the guilds to 64 doesn't make that much sense because then you can't fit in a single Hager Basin. So we wouldn't do that. That's why it's got a limit where it is already. Our official servers have a cap of 40 people per Hager Basin, so that wouldn't make sense. But some of the things like custom banners and things like that, we did it in Exiles eventually. It's stuff that I would put in the agenda for the future. It's not currently in the plan.
Right. Z Silverwoods, for players who have already reached the current endgame, full grade 5 gear, optimized augments, max specializations, what do you envision as the long-term aspirational gameplay loop of Dune Awakening?
This is-
Perfect question.
It's a great
Alex
question.
Alex wants the answer.
I'm actually.
No, so I think that those people will find a nice change of pace when we get to. First of all, I don't believe anyone's hit the specialization cap yet. Am I wrong?
I don't think so. Yeah.
There's no-
we have
I-
some people who did complete level 100 for maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, but not all five.
But not
all
everything.
4
Yeah,
or
there's
5.
there's
Yeah.
pretty much zero chance because of the way that's balanced. So yes, we're going to continue to add features to the game, right? Like that's part of the plan. So the longer term aspiration of Dune Awakening is, of course, I've talked about this before, is that we have a long term plan for the game. New features will come in. I can't really talk too much about what the new features are, but you can imagine like things like new ability trees for players that reinforce like separate styles of combat and things like that. New specializations can come in. The content will keep pace with that, and we will have more content for players along the lines of those things. And there'll be completely new gameplay loops coming. Things that you haven't done in the game that tie back into all of the different feature loops in the game, right?
Polar Cap is an example of
And the
that.
Polar Cap is like another example, right? There's a bunch of new things that you're going to want, even as a maxed out player, because they broaden your game experience. There's things that you can get there that you won't be able to get anywhere else. There's reasons to engage with the resource loops in Polar Cap. So yeah, I think that's just how it will be. We'll continue to make the Dune experience, because I think our goal, I think maybe the creative direction at the highest level is to make like a Dune universe game, right? Like that's what we're trying to do eventually, right? Like everything here should feel like you live in the Dune universe, you have a Dune life, and we parallel some of the events and stories from the books and the movies. And I have a plan that sort of lasts for I've called it the 10-year plan before. I don't know how long it will actually last, but it's a plan of content and events, and there's a main story and there's a narrative, and all of this stuff leads through certain things, and those things are features that will tie back to you. So you'll have stuff to do. Now, specifically, this question might be, what are you doing to challenge me as a player with that? And that's something that Alex and I and the combat guys and Jeff G, like on the exploration side, like all of the specializations have specific end goals, right? And then you're like, what's the content that challenges when I reach that high tier? That's what we're actually talking about right now. What we can do to make sure that people feel challenged in those roles. So we're getting there. It's not completely finished.
Next question from Minobi. Do you have any plans to introduce bigger water containers?
Yes, we do.
Indeed.
They are on the plan. They're going to be worked on.
It's twice as nice.
I don't know if I want to see much
Twice
more.
as nice with ice.
Yeah, exactly. Twice as nice with ice.
Lee Buch S. Are there any plans to improve or overhaul the PvP aspect of the game?
Yes, there are plans. Overhaul is a very strong word with a lot of implications. Improve, yes. I've talked about it on other live streams. We have some some plans for things like dueling system, arenas, control points. All of those 3 are in our backlog. Like when they will actually come in is kind of, I'm not able to say. Alex and I have a task coming up where we're going to be talking about revamping abilities in the game. We're going to have a conversation about how things are working in PvP as well at the same time, and looking at what works and doesn't work. We are doing things like, we are paying attention, like when people talk about things that aren't fair in PvP, like the Thopter surfing, we already made that change. And then I talked about like no-fly zones in the deep desert and things like that. Probably those things will be specifically applied to the deep desert. So yes, there are plans to improve things in PvP in the game. I wouldn't say overhaul as in start from scratch and completely redo everything. That's probably not going to happen.
I think a good way to think about it as well is that anything that we do for the PvP should also be valid in the PvE experience, and one should not exclude the other as much as we can.
Yes.
There is one of the most challenging things is to make 2 games or 3 games in parallel. So we'll try absolutely our best to make sure we're only making 1 game, but that one experience will be great for as many people as we possibly can get away with, right?
I think
So
that's well put.
looking at melee, looking at range, looking at abilities, looking at vehicles, and how it all unifies together, and the gameplay activities that you do as well.
Yep.
Grant Moff Steve, can we expect more characters from the books to appear? Baron Harkonnen, the Emperor, Shani.
Yes, you can.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slow burn, right? Like when there's a narrative planned out over a long time, yes. There's even characters you're going to meet in Chapter 5 that you haven't... sorry, not Chapter 5. Whatever the next update's called. 1.5.
The next update, I think we haven't nailed
console
down.
launch
You will
version.
meet characters that you haven't... You'll meet specifically 2 really important lore characters that you haven't met. One of them is going to feature very prominently in the next movie as well.
Ooh.
So we had the next question, which was regarding whether we're planning to add any new abilities or deepen the specializations to the existing trees and systems. I'm sorry I didn't cut it fully, but I think that was the gist of it. If I'm wrong, Nicole, just resend that question whenever you want.
So, like Joel said a second ago, everything that we try to do is for the betterment of as many people as possible, or technically, yes. So, there are plans to look at the abilities. There are plans to look at the abilities for the next big release. Some abilities can use more attention than others, and there are absolutely talks and conversations about how we can add more gameplay variety and unique experiences by either adding new skill trees or revamping existing ones.
Yeah. And some abilities, like we understand that people don't use them much, or that they're like, we can see through our telemetry what people are using and why, and we can look at how to make them more useful. Like one of the things that Alex and I have done, or I made Alex do, is the way I should say it, because that's just how it works. I directed Alex. Was like we've removed the Spencer grenade from the slavers in the Jabala free areas, because we had made changes in the dungeons because players were using the suspensor grenades to lock down all the NPC waves in the dungeons. So we'd made it so NPCs could ignore suspensors, which changed that dynamic. But then what it meant was that when you were playing in, like, especially newer players who were playing in the Iron Tier, Steel Tier stuff, they were getting locked down, floating in the air, getting absolutely destroyed by 12 people, like 12 NPCs who could just completely ignore the effects of suspensor grenades. Like, suspensor grenades need to be looked at, and we need to improve them as an ability. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, and we've done a couple of Band-Aid rip-offs here and there, and it's not good enough, right? We need to go back and revisit that ability and have a look at actually how it works, and think about what it's going to do for as Alex says, for PvE, PvP. Like, how can we make that a more compelling, more interesting ability? Because right now, I think it's like, it doesn't serve the purpose we intended it to serve at launch. So, you know, here's a funny story, right? Like, if you remember, here's a funny story. Here's a funny story. Like, if you remember at launch, people were able to Goomba stomp with vehicles into players. Yeah. But actually, the counter to that, as designed by us, was that suspensor grenades slowed vehicles down when they hit them. So if you tried to fly through a suspensor grenade to Goomba stomp someone, you wouldn't have been able to do it. But it was optimized because of an issue, so it actually became possible to do it. So it's like, these things are complex, right? Like, sometimes someone will fix a bug thinking it's a bug, and it's not, or it's an intentional design, or coders optimize a part of the game because physics collision through the suspensor grenade was causing issues, blah, blah, blah. And we end up in this situation where an ability becomes not what it was intended to be. So, yes, it's complex and we're revisiting. Anyway, end of my funny story. Let's go back to Ignacy's story time.
Hilarious.
Thank you, Ignacy.
What was
Can
the
we,
previous question?
Yeah, can we
He's
get
gonna
that
bring it
question
back.
again?
Guess who's back? Back
Don't start
again.
that. We'll start
Sorry.
singing. You guys don't know how much singing in the office happens. Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
Yeah, too much.
No, we're not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Solid Snake 090. Any plans for new vehicles?
Tanks one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, two things spring to mind. One of them technically a vehicle, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
I like this answer.
Yeah,
It's a bit ambiguous.
I like it.
I mean, answer is then yes.
Yes,
Highly likely.
highly likely. But I don't think like vehicles are where we're going to be putting most of our development efforts. So you won't be getting like 100 new vehicles. It's not a vehicle game.
Music Junkie 81. Why can't we vacuum floor sand with the crawler?
That's on the plan soon, eventually. I
Is
hope.
it?
It is. It actually is.
Thank you.
Well,
No.
Production jumps
Alignment meeting. Alignment meeting.
I'm half joking. It is something we want to do. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's on the plan, but I don't know the
when.
current
right.
release date.
Okay. So we're looking at the backlog bucket right now.
Yes.
I see.
I have different plans for how to get more flower sand, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
understand the need. I understand the wish for sure.
Routine Brush 6877. For the single player mode, how does NPC respawning works? Is it timer based like in standard online, or is it based on reloading chunks?
So I actually raised this not that long ago. We were talking about this because we do have a variable for respawning NPCs in the world.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that players don't have the Conan Exiles experience of like,
I can tell you that they won't because we have persistence on you leaving
yes,
the area and coming back again. So they are respawn. They're timer based, like
Yes.
in multiplayer, and it will remember that you kill them and then leave the area and come back again.
so we can also open some of that timer up to players, right, to allow them to.
The
adjust.
timer will be adjustable.
Yeah,
in
so
the
the
settings.
timer will be adjustable in settings.
Sweet.
In single player. So there you go. You can even make it so you can slowly. Can we make it so you can slowly depopulate the entire world?
Oh, like a I don't know 1 week timer. Actually don't know what the max is. But, that would be funny though.
It's kind of funny.
Persistent world.
I killed everybody in Arrakis, and all I got was this lousy blood bag.
QC8472. Will we be able to transfer our current characters to single player? We covered that one earlier. Unfortunately, no. Due to the database differences that you've mentioned.
Yeah, they run different databases
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. There's completely different database structures for these two.
Hattori Hans, any plans for mod support for single player mode?
That's a complicated topic
Yeah.
for Dune.
Yeah, it still remains a difficult thing, I would say, for us. There's IP holders involved. It's not straightforward for us to just add mod support. So for now, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Valo31 TV, will Coriolis Storm still happen in single player each week?
I guess the interesting part here is that time in single player doesn't flow the same way as in multiplayer. There's no server that's always up. So that's the big difference. Do you know exactly the timing on it?
No, we've been looking at
It's
it
a
when we've been working on it.
negotiation.
Yeah, it's kind of a negotiation about how often it happens. But they won't be like Coriolis storms, right? Like they'll be different. There will still be Coriolis storms, but they'll be different to the
Yeah.
ones that happen in multiplayer. So it has a lesser effect.
And you did say that the layout on the Deep Desert will not change
Yes.
and your
Yes.
base will not get wiped
Yes.
anyway, right? So-
Yeah, in single player, those things
Yeah.
are far less.
Like an important thing in single player is that now when you shut off the game actually stops, right?
Yes.
That
Right.
means
Powering your base with fuel. If you leave the game for 6 months and
Yes.
come back, you'll still have the same amount
Right.
of time.
But
Things like that.
but the really nice thing is crafting actually continues while you're out,
Yes.
and
Oh.
there's a catch-up mechanics when you come back again. The stuff that you've put to crafting.
Yeah.
is-
If you leave machines running to like craft and things, yes. We have to make sure the generators turn off though.
Yeah.
I wonder if the yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Maybe I'm wrong now. Not when you log out, but when you're out
Yeah.
of the area is what I mean.
Okay.
Con CEO CNC, have you considered adding or further expanding stealth mechanics for single player? I think it would be it would create more tactical options for approaching encounters.
Joel's gonna zip his lips and say, "I may not answer that one on the grounds that it may incriminate me."
No promises.
Okay.
No, yeah. I can't talk about it, right? Like so. No.
Alright.
Let's say for now, maybe.
Okay. Alex's smile will be the only thing we're gonna get as an answer to this question. John Dabar, are there any plans to rework or rebalance the personal rewards and decrees?
We talked about the decrees specifically recently, adding more stuff. The Landsrad personal rewards, not so much. And in that, like, it's not a conversation that's the top of our radar right now. Doesn't mean we won't do it or look at it at some point in the future. But like those don't seem to be the main driver of concern. The decrees, on the other hand, are something that we want to look at and continue to expand as well. So, yes.
Lots of fun questions.
These are good questions.
Rodak T. No, sorry for butchering your name, guys, by the way. Do you plan to make construction costs for all buildables be a pickable option? Chom shelter made of plaston or Atreides set made of granite?
It's a good point.
There's no plans right now.
I don't think we have plans for it right now. It's something I can talk with Leo and the building team about. It's a bit of a legacy issue tying back to the way that we wanted PvP and base sieges potentially between players to work, which is why we had higher tiers of materials with more expensive and thus higher hit points and things like that. So yeah, and obviously that doesn't play out in the game as solidly as it needs to or should have. So yeah, it's something to think about.
Okay.
It's a good question that leads me to go down a dark path in my head that I need to fix.
Syllabub Middle, what does the future hold for Dune Awakening? Can we expect a new roadmap?
Roadmaps.
It's like a
My
promise.
favorite thing.
There's
There's an in joke about promises in Joel. That's
there's-
Why the giggling is happening.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
I want to tell a story, and then I want to talk about roadmaps, right? And then this is kind of like, so yes, obviously, Dune Awakening has a lot of plans. The visibility you have into those plans is up until the polar cap, essentially, right now. That's basically as far as we're talking about in the future. Next year, there'll be a bunch more stuff, right? Like I'm working on with the executive producer. There's plans that go all the way through 2027, and then like we look far ahead. I have a 10-year plan that I wrote 2 years ago of where I want this thing to go and like what things are going to be in there, but we adjust as we go, right? Like chapter 3 was a big pivot for us. It was originally something else, and then we pivoted to make the end game and the Landsrad more interesting because it just wasn't working. So yes, there is an internal plan, but then there's the public roadmaps, right? We're not an early access game where we're trying to present our public roadmap. And I'm really burned because on Conan Exiles, I presented a public roadmap during early access, and it involved settlement system, sorcery system, mounts, I can't remember, sieging. And it took us like 5 years to deliver those things that we said we would deliver in a year of early access. So I'm really burned out because all that happened for the next 3 years on Conan Exiles was people going, where's sorcery? You guys haven't delivered sorcery. You guys suck. You promised sorcery 3 years ago and you still haven't delivered it. Eventually we delivered on all of the things, but it took a lot longer than we thought as devs. So let's say I'm gun shy about actually putting out a public roadmap and going, this is definitely going to be happening at this point, because it also takes away your ability to pivot. Because if I'd said last year, here is what's happening between launch and the end of the first year of Dune Awakening, and then I look at what we actually did between the launch and the first year of Dune Awakening, it's 100%, not 100% different, but it's very different. Like it changed a lot from June 10th, 2025 to June 10th, 2026. And that ability to pivot has actually been to the advantage of the player base, right? Because we were then able to work on the end game stuff. We were then, if I just set a roadmap in place and I'd had to like stick religiously to this, it would have just been a worse game at this point for you guys. So, yeah, that's the only thing I can say. I'm like, and you know, it's fine to say that I'm incompetent or that I promise too much or whatever. It's quite okay, but like, it makes me shy of roadmaps, and I always have this discussion with marketing because you know they're like, hey, let's put out a roadmap, get people really excited about the future, and I'm like, let's not. Let's tell people
But I
about what
think
we're
that-
working
I
towards.
think it's a balancing act.
Yeah,
right? Like
it's very
obviously we want to communicate with you guys what we're planning for, you know, enough into the future so that you know there's something for you to look forward to, right?
Yes.
But we need to find a good balance, and maybe it will not always manifest in you know a typical roadmap as you guys get to understand it, but it also doesn't mean we will not say anything that we're planning for the next.
But I
X
think you can
months,
see
right?
the flip side of that is that when we do communicate something like the polar cap, is that is we're clearly intending to ship this.
yeah.
So we will communicate and we'll always keep giving
Yeah.
you something to look forward to. Like we will continue doing that even after polar cap. That's the intention, right?
Yeah.
But we don't want to. We want to also keep some of this open because of what we asked,
Yeah.
like what you just talked about with
Well,
pivoting.
and it's just like player bases as well. Like the way that you play the game is dynamic, and it might be that like, hey, we see a lot of people wanting more of this. Oh, but we had planned this. Oh, well, we'll just switch, right? Like, and it gives us that flexibility to actually make more of what people want. And it, you know, I the number of times that like time just makes you into a liar as well. Anyway, let's.
Junies, I really enjoyed the single player announcement. I remember some time ago that it was mentioned how that wasn't a possibility due to numerous reasons. Is there any other concepts that at this stage weren't possible and now we're revisiting them?
This is the bane of my life, by the way. The bane of my life.
We literally talked about it before the live stream.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The bane of my life is that I get told by people, this is not possible, we can't do it. This is never going to happen. And then I'm the person who communicates outwards, hey, sorry guys, it's impossible, it's never going to happen. In beta, there were people going, can we have self-hosted servers? And I was like,
So
let me go check. Nope, we're not doing it. We can't. Apparently, it's really hard.
So
And-
when somebody tells Joel it's not possible, they actually just mean it's really, really hard. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like single player came for free.
No,
it
no.
was a massive
Massive
undertaking.
effort.
Like it took a pretty large team, sizable team, months and months and months of work
Yes.
to get everything working in single player.
And
because of
we
how
did
the game
this
is built.
because we did this because it was a big request from people,
Yes.
right? Like a huge request.
And it does open up some doors in the future now that we've done this.
Yes.
So obviously there are some things that we've said in the past that maybe wasn't possible that might open up due to doors like this.
Yeah,
opening
it's like everyone on Conan thinks I'm a liar because I told them mounts wasn't possible. Because at the time when we were trying to do mounts, the streaming on Xbox was so slow on the hard drive that you would run out of the world if we made the player move faster.
right, yeah,
Do you remember this?
Yeah, that's really
And I talked to the tech team and the CTO of the company, and he was like, we're not doing mounts, man. We can't stream this. And then over the years, we optimized Conan Exiles enough that we could do mounts. And it's great. And I'm very happy we could do it. But like, I always end up being the liar when I say, this is impossible, this is hard. So the point is, yeah, like we can probably do more things in the future if we spend enough time on it. The question is it the will of the community?
Yep.
Next question, Quantum Float Boat. How are build sets decided for when it comes to the theme? How many pieces and what types of pieces are to be included?
It's a good question.
This is going to be one of those. I feel like this is one of those trick questions because obviously people are unhappy every time we put out a building
trap.
set. It's hard, right? So because let me talk primarily about why it's hard. We use the building sets we make in the game to build content as well. If you look at WinPass, it's using water shipper assets to build the buildings in WinPass. But we also cheat because we're game developers. On the inside, using the engine, we can rotate pieces. There's a team of people who make special an environment artist made these specific windows because he thought it looked better for this particular building. Blah, blah, blah. We cheat. You can't do that. So we give you building sets with the pieces that are aligned to the player building set. Now, I saw people on Reddit talking about, but those windows that are used on this building in WinPass, why can't we have those? You can't have them because they're not player building set pieces. They're not set up for a building set. They're made by an environment artist who specifically didn't care about the player building set metrics. So with that said, we are working on right now trying to standardize a set of pieces for buildings so that we don't have this issue every time we launch a DLC where people go, oh, you're missing this thing that I liked from this other set. But you also have to remember they're very expensive. Like there are a lot of pieces in every set. For the, I mean, maybe people will think I'm being facetious or a bum or whatever, but like for what you're getting for the price of the DLCs in terms of how many assets there are in those building sets, it's a lot. It's a lot, and every time it's like, and there's no attempt on our end to like rip people off or make it worse or do it worse than this other set. It's generally just like, what do we have? How do we put them together? And then the team is now working on making sure that we have a standardized set so that people understand what's going to be there every time, and we don't have. So I think that's it, right? That's where we're at.
And quickly, as on theming, it often ties in with whatever the bigger updates that we have are coming, right?
Yeah,
That's the
I mean,
main idea.
1.4 and Polar Cap and Shipper and Water Shippers were sort of supposed to be roughly together, but then we ended up having to do some changes there.
Did you
Sorry,
get it?
I think it's the second time from that user.
Nicole,
we've
can you
used the
resend that question, please?
Yes, please,
If you're
Nicole.
gonna add
Sorry.
more ornamental pieces like wires and plants and stuff like that.
Oh, more ornamental pieces like wires and plants. Yeah.
Yeah, just answer this and we'll catch
yeah.
up.
She cannot send the same question because the tool won't let her.
Well,
so she has to
for the
send a new one
previous-
and then-
For the previous
Right.
question, yes,
Okay.
maybe, and then for NPCs and thralls,
I can't
Okay.
talk about it.
you can't talk about it.
No, we can't talk about it.
But yeah, we'll keep expanding with new placeables and
Potentially.
decoration pieces.
Alex, you've got the worst poker face in the world. Every time anyone asks
I'm
a
just
question,
getting you to commit to
Every
things.
time-
You don't want to commit. Put a ring on it.
put on a ring on it. Right? Unbelievable.
Well, read between the lines if you want to.
Yes.
There's chemistry here.
Routine Brush 6877. For self-hosted or private servers, would you allow us to edit, tweak the launch strat point system to allow low population multiplayer servers to reduce the count of points needed to win a
That's
square?
interesting.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah.
Add it to Jira, put it in the backlog, and get the team
Make
to
a
fix it.
Jira,
Thank you.
get someone on it.
We're
but
good,
I
yeah.
can't promise
Make a
when.
task out of
We
this
don't know when,
comments.
but I think it's a really reasonable question, and we should be
Yeah.
able to do it and add it to the server settings. Sure.
Next. Guilty Whiskey 3. Will there be goals activities implemented into both the PvPDD and PvE Deep Desert to enhance that location and allow solo guilds to drive to new goals in that region?
Sorry, I'm trying to absorb the question. Are you asking that the goals are in both regions, so they're the same?
I got the feeling that they're asking for, will there be new things to do in the Deep Desert for PvE and for PvP
Yeah.
for
Yes.
guilds to drive towards new goals? and do new
Sure.
stuff?
Players,
sure.
basically.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
5 more questions.
5 more questions.
5 more
Okay.
questions.
It's a lot of questions today. It's cool.
Good.
There we go. JN Kailus. Last update gave us Suspensor NPCs. Can we expect even more variety? New NPCs with new combat mechanics and also new wildlife creatures. I like how Ule Andreas just immediately put the microphones in front of Alex.
Part of the answer to that question is yes. Another part is it's more expensive.
I'm gonna channel my inner Jeff G and be like, a new archetype for the polar cap, Alex? When?
When the polar cap goes up, maybe.
And one of the things that I've been pushing for us to look into is quadrupeds, so that we can have things like laser tigers and stuff. It's still
on the agenda
it's
now.
still on the agenda, but it's going to get looked at some point. So yes, the plan is especially look, if the game's going to be lasting 10 years, there'll be stuff there.
Rodak Nov. What are your thoughts on the current balance of the game and the augment grade system? Will any balance changes be made to cool the power cap issues?
So this is a pretty detailed conversation that needs to be had. We need to figure out and try to understand where we want to take the. Technically, you do. You need to figure out
With my
yes.
my intelligent people,
absolutely with some advice and choose which way to direct the game.
mostly Andrew, not you.
I know. I just do stuff. It's fine. And figure out where we're going to take the game. And in terms of balance, that every piece of the progression, both itemization, personal character power, and even in some cases player ability to utilize the mechanics of the game, is going to get reviewed and adjusted for the place that the game is going to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it's also important to remember that we have telemetry on this. It's I understand that it's like power creep is always a concern, but it's a very, very, very small percentage of people who are really in the position where they've power crept too far out of the range, right? Like a lot of what we're doing is based around where people are at generally, not where people who spend a lot of time are. But with that said, I understand that in particular in PvP, power creep is going to be an issue. So
Yeah, and augments have increased the power quite a bit. So it is something we're looking at for sure.
definitely.
The big mother Fook. Do you plan on adding any new weapon types? As an example, some Atreides troops in Dune Part 1 use pole arms, other weapon types like dual sword, spears, lances, and clubs.
Yes.
What was the choice, Alex? I remember we had a discussion not that long ago, and it was like, "Hey, Joel, can we do pole arms or
What was the other
dual
thing?
daggers?"
Polearms, dual daggers, or something.
And I chose
like-
dual daggers.
Yes.
So we're talking about this stuff, new weapons. If you look at Conan Exiles, where we have this huge variety of weapons that we've added over the years, I think that's a safe assumption that we'll continue to add things like weapons.
It needs to be tasteful within the lore, and it needs to make mechanical sense to the experience that we're trying to deliver.
Yep.
So some extremes cannot really be looked at. For example, the things like two-handed massive swords just don't make sense.
The Berserk sword
Right.
won't be in Dune
Things that
Awakening,
are in the
probably.
films do make sense as long as we can find a valid gameplay space for them to occupy.
Yep, I think that's fair.
Okay, Ganache
Oh, nice.
042. Any plans to add practice dummies so you could test your damage with or without upgrades, including different types of damage?
Yes.
Yes.
Plans to add this. I don't remember where it's scheduled for, but we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
So this is the last question.
Okay. B Boompra. Any chance to add roaming patrols or bandits in the deep desert or Haga basin?
So this is the story of it's very, very hard. No, you can't do it. And then time progresses
Right.
and things get massaged.
Yeah. So we've been told no, technically, on this
Who
for
knows?
many years. The reason being that like server optimization relies quite a lot on NPCs being awake and things like that, and it's
It gets messy quickly.
It's like NPCs are asleep when you're not nearby, right? In a multiplayer game. So let's imagine that there's an NPC patrolling from point A to point B, but you're not there, so they're asleep. So that you never see if they're patrolling anyway, because when you get to A, they wake up and you fight them, and then they're not there patrolling from point A to point B. And yes, you can simulate this in the background. I understand that people in the audience are telling me I'm stupid already. We know, but there's work to be done on all of these things. And yeah, it's never been the top priority. I wanted vehicle patrols as well that players ended up running into, and convoys of enemies and all sorts of things we wanted. Where we'll get to them is when we have a bit more time to sit back and look at where it's important for the game.
Cool, awesome. Well, that was the last question. So thank you very much, guys, for answering
Thank you.
everything. And thank you for submitting and asking those questions. What we'll do in the next few days, we're going to try to go back specifically to the Reddit thread we've created for this and just put the answers there in writing as well, so they're easily referenceable and you can find it and share it and quote us on everything we've said.
And
obviously.
hold it against us forever.
Yeah, but we still got a couple of things we need to resolve. We have obviously gone over an hour, my initial estimate for this live stream. But Caroline has been busy in the background sketching the tattoos. So now we're gonna take a quick look on how many? 3, 4?
She's finishing it up, so it's not quite.
Okay,
there
she's
yet.
finishing it up.
Yeah.
Not a single problem.
She needs 1 minute.
She needs 1 minute.
1 minute.
Excellent. We can wait 1 minute. It's not gonna make a difference.
Any good Dune themed jokes?
No, you are the one who has the good jokes.
Well, what I would suggest maybe then let's switch the order a little bit because it is an anniversary, right? And I wouldn't imagine anniversary without a cake, right? And this is mainly to, celebrate all of you guys and the community. We had our internal celebrations across the studios to kind of, make this moment special, right? Game development, it's a collective effort. The nerds you're seeing over here is, the tip of an iceberg. There is way more talented people, colleagues,
Better looking as well.
100% that are creating all of that content and making it happen and making sure that it's playable. Let's play the videos. Let's give them a bit of a cheer. We've asked everyone to wish you, the player community, and the game happy birthday. And in the meantime, I'm gonna drink a little. Yes, we got a little cake with. Try to show it better to the camera. Here we go. Dune Awakening.
Nice.
June.
We have to imagine that they're candles, but given of how much spice has been consumed, I think it's not gonna be a problem because I've been told we cannot have open fire in the office. Otherwise, we will have an abrupt finish of this live stream. But this is a cake for.
Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk it for this one, I mean, we wouldn't have been here without you, and we appreciate every single player in our community. I could speak at length, but I think Joel, maybe if there is anything you would want to convey to our players.
Yeah, I think I talked to the devs earlier today, and I teared up a little bit when I was talking about it. But look, there was a moment last year. Like, games are hard. Game development's hard, really hard. It's a hard profession to be in. You see the industry, you see where things are going. Like, people are, losing their jobs, and last year. There was a moment when Dune was launching, and I know, by the way, I don't know how else to say it, but Dune is the best game that Funcom's ever made, in my opinion. I think the team has been phenomenal. The people that I've had the privilege of working with for the last few years on this project have been amazing people. I think that with COVID happening and a lot of remote work type things coming in, and Funcom expanding at the same time into many offices, there's been a lot of challenges on Dune. And I think as a project, what it came together to make was something special, and the people who worked on it were special people. And then last year, and then there was this we had this long beta, and the people that we met in the beta were also awesome people, like special people who helped us to make the game better, right? And then the game had its early advanced access, I think it's called, 5th to the 10th, right? And it was going really well. It was going great. People were excited. The game, was I think we had an 89% Steam rating at some point there, and there was just this moment of relief. I think our hearts were full. Our community was amazing. Our players were giving us positive feedback. The journalists were writing nice articles about us. Everything looked to be great and on track. And we thought, okay, maybe this is going to be, the success we need it to be for us. And Funcom's had its ups and downs over the years, and I was so excited. I was so top of the mountain for a little while, and then people started to report problems. People started to report bugs, and I think everybody is correct, right? There were things wrong with the game, things that needed to be fixed, and it sort of blew the wind out of the sails, right, of the team in the sense that we sort of sunk into this kind of oh shit, there's all these problems we need to fix. And the thing that I'm very proud of as a team is that people just rolled up their sleeves and got on with it, and we fixed the game, and we've been working on it for a year. And but the thing through all of that, through the feeling that things aren't going great, through watching, negative Steam reviews from people playing, hundreds of hours. And I have this exercise. I try to empathize and understand why people who've played the game for such a long time don't like it anymore. And I really understand. I think I see that people are just you know what, I played this game a lot. I gave it my all, and the devs didn't make decisions that I wanted them to make, or they pushed the game in a direction that I didn't like. And look, man, I feel that. I feel it. So through all of that, through the dev team, and we had some layoffs last year as well, like through all of these things that I feel are like just devastating to a development team, we had these people, this community, this backbone of people playing Dune Awakening who are just wonderful, awesome people who I love and respect. And I thank you all, everybody who's been a part of Dune Awakening, whether you hate us and left us a negative review on Steam, whether you love us and have given us positive reviews or have been there since day one, whether you're in our betas, whether you're a new player who picked up the game last week, I just want to say thank you. Right? We don't do this. We don't work this hard on these things for just ourselves. It's for you as well. And this is a shared experience in a multiplayer game, even though we're adding a single player mode. This is a shared experience for all of us. So for me, it's just a heartfelt thank you. Thank you to the Dune Awakening community, and thank you to all of you for being with us on this journey and the ups and the downs. And we're going to try and do our best and do better for you. That's all I can offer, right? So thank you.
Thank you. Well
Yes.
said.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yep. And now that I've said my awkward piece, and
Yes. It wasn't awkward. I think it was lovely.
yeah.
I
It's hard.
appreciate the directness and
Yeah,
transparency with it, right?
I mean, we're real people, right? It's not like we.
Last I checked.
Last I checked, yeah. And Funcom is probably less corporate than most places, I think. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job.
It's allowed to
to
be a
go?
human.
We're gonna show her screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're the production master. You do it the way it works. What we want to see is obviously what Caroline has been working hard throughout the live stream, so we can give you guys
Ooh.
the
Oh, that's cool.
options
Oh, wow.
for
Yeah.
voting. So we have 3 tattoos over here.
Nice.
Take a. I'm torn between 1 and 2 myself.
Yeah, I really like number
Very
1,
cool.
but number 2 is really bold. I like that one as well. Getting eaten.
Is the community voting on this one?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
the
Nicole's gonna
polls
set up a poll now.
are being set up, right?
Good job, Carolina.
She can now show herself on stream because now she's done with the
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Everything's according to the plan. Everything's according to the plan. For everyone else, Caroline is just sitting right over there, so sometimes you could see us glancing over in that direction. This is exactly for that, but Caroline, welcome back. You've been hard at work for all this time, and I mean, those sketches are looking pretty fucking sick.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun actually. I've wanted to do a childhood tattoo for a little while, so this was very fun.
And that's also something internally people have been poking you about, right?
Yeah. I think it's been the most requested one.
Super good. So yeah, we're gonna let people vote. We might take the top 2 options and basically work on them a little bit more. And then after a week or a week and a half, we will share them with you, either through CommunityNet Signal or through our socials or Discord, and basically run another poll to decide which one of those do we want to finalize and basically get through the entire production process. So right now we're simply eliminating one of those options that we would like to discard at this point. So whenever the polls are ready,
1
Yeah.
minute.
1 minute. Okay,
I can
no
just
problem.
give some information maybe.
Yeah,
about
go
the
ahead,
tattoos.
please.
Why
Of
don't you talk
course.
us through it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so whichever one we pick in the end will have a final design that will wrap around the entire neck or the head, depending on the design. Like, for example, 2, they will probably stretch along to the back, and then both 1 and 3 will have it go around the neck. So just to save some time, I decided to only focus on the front for now. And then, 2's concept is maybe obviously Shia-Lute's teeth kind of encapsulating and eating your face. And then 3 is more of a like it's matching a sleeve tattoo that we already have of a childhood wrapping around the arm. And then one is a more abstract concept.
Two reminds me of like, it's also a reference to God Emperor, right? Like where Leto is inside.
Right.
He's a worm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
true.
God Emperor.
Yeah, yeah.
Two is a good God Emperor tattoo, in my opinion. Very cool.
Yeah, so while we're waiting for the polls to finish, obviously in-game celebration is one thing, but we also will be running little raffles on our Discord server. So starting this Friday for the next few weeks to coincide with everything that is going on in the game, we'll be running raffles for one of the murals that we've been distributing, I think last year through the Discord quest system. So right now we're actually free to start giving it out. And that's exactly what we want to do. So if you don't have it yet in your collection, that will be an opportunity for you to every week have a chance to get a code for that. And this will all be happening on the official Dune Awakening Discord server. So make sure to keep an eye on our community announcements. And we're gonna get them there. And I can see with the corner of my eye, I got a thumbs up from Ignacy, which can only mean that the polls are ready. We've calculated the votes.
Option 1 has gotten 53%.
53% for option 1.
On Twitch and 46% on YouTube, so it's the winner.
Okay.
Okay.
46 on YouTube.
Option 3 is the second choice with
Okay.
29 and 29.
All right.
Nice.
So
Option 1, clear winner.
one, number 3, those will be the ones.
1, 3, and 2 are the.
That's the order. Yeah.
Yeah.
So God Emperor not today, not this time.
It's too early for the God Emperor anyway. It's fine.
Maybe later.
Maybe in the
right?
end of the 10-year cycle, we'll get to that.
But yeah, then 1, 3, basically Caroline will continue working on them offline for the next few days or a week, whatever. And then we'll get back to you and we'll let you vote for that. But yeah, definitely let us know, how did you like the live stream? How did you like designing a tattoo? I think this is something we would certainly like to do more. There's plenty of cool things we can do together. So share your feedback, send it over to us across Reddit, Discord, social media, you name it. Our channels are always open. But on the behalf of everyone here at Funcom, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for playing Dune Awakening. There's a lot of cool stuff in the works planned for everyone in the next months and years. So stay tuned. We're far from done. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time, whenever that's gonna be.
Happy
Thank you.
1 year anniversary.
Happy 1 year
Happy
anniversary. And thanks, Alex, for making it today, being on time.
Sorry.
Cool.